Alright guys, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on hip flexors and opening up the hips. So I'm going to take my glasses off. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to go ahead and take our right foot and bring our heel in as far as we can. And then we're going to take our left heel and put right in front of that foot, not on top of, but we're going to just put it right in front just so we can focus on a specific hip. And so when you're sitting like this, you want to make sure that the spine is elongated and that you're grounding into those hips. You don't want those hips to come up. So we'll just keep our hips grounded. Alright, just go ahead and get a feel for where your body's at. Alright, and so now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and slowly walk ourselves forward. Alright, so this really may not feel like much, but it's opening up your hips. And if you're doing this and you're like, oh, you know, I think I can push myself a little bit further, go ahead and drop those forearms as long as those hips are still on the ground. And then we're just going to go ahead and drop our hips. And if you're doing that and you still feel like you can challenge yourself a little bit more, go ahead and just drop your head as far down as you can. And so we want to make sure that we're being totally aware of every part of our body. So with your shoulders, you don't want them to be coming up to your ears. You want to make sure that you are pulling them back. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and slowly come up. And we're just going to go ahead and switch feet. So we're going to go ahead and break that left foot and put that right foot right in front. Alright. Just going to sit up and breathe. Alright, we're just going to walk ourselves out. And I can see this hip is a little bit less flexible than my right hip. And that's kind of why we do the same amount of work on each side, just so we can build both hips or both hamstrings or whatever you're doing in yoga. You can build them up to the same strength or the same flexibility. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop now. Alright, then slowly lift your head up and work yourself back. Go ahead and relax the legs. What we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and, now you're going to really feel the stretch, really going to be opening up those hamstrings. We're going to take our right leg and we're just going to put it right in front of us. So your shin is going to be almost parallel to your mat. And so this one, we're going to go ahead and lift up our left leg and we're going to stack our ankle over our knee. And so ideally with this pose or stretch, both ankles, heels will be stacked on top of each other. In some instances, your leg might be all the way up here. That's fine. Again, it comes with time. The more you practice, the more you do this, the more flexible you'll be. So now in doing this, you just want to make sure that both of your feet are flexed. So you just want to be aware of every part of our body. And by no means do I ever want you to push your leg down to it. Oh, I'll just push it down so I can really feel it. No, you're going to hurt yourself. Just let your body slowly gain that flexibility over time. Don't force anything or you will hurt yourself. So we're just going to go ahead and sit here. Sit back on those hips, elongate that spine, and you should really feel this opening up your hips. Alright, so to come out of this pose, I want you to assist your leg. I want you to go ahead and just sit back, and I want you to assist your leg in opening back up. Just open them both up. And we're just going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Stack that right ankle over that knee. And as you can see, this hip's a lot less flexible than my other one, and that's okay. Stack them. Sit back. Back straight. Elongate that spine to the crown of your head. Make sure you are flexing both those feet. Just be totally aware of what our bodies are doing. And we're just going to hold this for 3 to 5 breaths. One more deep breath. Alright, and again, just go ahead and assist that leg. Just going to open up. And I want you to just open the hips a little bit, stretch it out. I know you probably really feel that if you're inflexible, so I'm just going to shake it out, get the blood flowing, let the acid build up. Alright, so I just want you to go ahead and just lay back. Prop those legs up. And before we start anything, we're just going to go ahead and go into lying down butterfly. Just open those hips up a little bit more at a different angle. Elongate that spine. So we're going to do that is we're just going to go ahead and pop our feet up. Should be about hip width apart from each other. We're just going to go ahead and relax. And we're going to go ahead and extend that right leg up. And you're just going to put a slight bend in it. And you're going to cross that ankle over, over that quad, that thigh. And now, for some of you, this right here should be enough stretching in itself. But for those of you who are kind of doing this with ease, you're just going to kind of push. I don't want to say push, I don't want you to hurt yourself. So go ahead and gently bring your hands to your calf. I just want you to give a slight, just guide your leg back is what I'll say. Guide it back, and you want to make sure that that foot is nice and flexed. No lazy extremities here. Nice and stretched out. Alright, and if that's okay, you can go ahead and just prop this left foot up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and feed our right hand through the legs and our left hand on the outside of the legs. We're just going to lift our legs a bit, and we're going to interlace the fingers. And we're just going to you should feel this tension. I don't want to tell you to pull back because again, I don't want you to hurt yourself. So just interlace those fingers, and you should really feel this stretch. Alright, so what we're going to do now, if you can do this and you're like, oh, this is not a problem, just go ahead and pull those legs back and pull your nose in towards your knee or that ankle. And then you'll really feel that stretch. ahead and release. Your body back down. Slowly release those fingers and drop that leg down. Raise that right leg back up. Put it towards the ground. Before we go to the other side, we're just going to kind of stretch these hips out a little bit. Because I know you definitely feel that if you're inflexible. I definitely feel it. I'm going to stretch down. Just alright. Bring yourself back up. So now we're just going to do the exact same thing on our left side. We're just going to raise that left leg up. Put a slight bend in it. Ankle to the thigh. Guide those legs across those hands across that leg. Do a slight push back. Go ahead and feed the hand through that leg and the other one on the outside. And then go ahead and bring that nose to the knee or to the ankle. Alright, good. Relax the shoulders, the neck. Unlace the fingers, slowly bring the leg down. Bring that leg back up. And drop. Alright. So just go ahead and go back into butterfly. Open those hips. You might be able to feel you've opened your hips a little bit. Feel the difference. Alright. So if you break yourself up, come to the center of the mat. Nice, comfortable seated position. Just want you to close your eyes and relax. Breathe. Bring those arms above your head. Meet them at the top. Slowly come into the chest, sailing in your practice. Open up those eyes. Namaste.